tu pelo sobre la almohada.
Hey there guys, this is Gary and welcome back to Get Going Fast, the place where we're getting into this excellent hobby of AI in a quick and efficient manner in which you might actually learn something. And we are still on site here at Ma and Pa's house here. We are on vacation, so we are doing this from the luxury of the family office here. So excuse the limitations of what we got to offer today. But with that said, we are going to be looking at InfiniteTalk, which is a very excellent software which just come on the scene. We're going to be looking at the workflow for this incredible breadth and width and depth of emotion and facial thing that's going to go on with your lip syncing thing. Amazing. And I'm actually making 3-minute long videos, 4-minute long videos at relatively smaller times, relatively smaller amounts of time to do that. So incredible software. This one kind of squeaked by me. A lot of TTS stuff coming out these days, and you can kind of be like, yeah, you pass stuff by. This was one of those that almost passed me by, and then I got playing with it, and OMG. Yo, okay, this is the one that you want to play with. So if you're asking me what's the best lip syncing software out there, the answer is obviously it's InfiniteTalk. Okay, so we got noise out there. Papa is working with the hose, so that's him right outside the window. You're gonna have to just forgive little sounds like that for today. But we are going to move on with InfiniteTalk. I'm going to show you how to get it going on. There are some small caveats with this that we're going to talk about, so you're going to need to pay attention when we go through the workflow. I'm going to show you how to do stuff. You'll be getting this stuff going fast, okay? We're also going to talk about One2GP, and we love One2GP, but this is not going to be the one to run out of that. So we're going to stick with our ComfyUI today. But before we do that, thank you so much for liking the channel, subscribing, being a part of Get Going Fast. I really appreciate that. So, it's a good opportunity to just go talk to strangers about AI. Just walk up to random people and smile real big like that, and ask them what they think about AI. Not creepy at all, okay? And who knows, maybe you'll make a new friend, okay? Bring them on over to Get Going Fast. So thanks for doing that, man. That is cool. You are our bridge builder. All right, well, with that said, we're going to move on here with InfiniteTalk. Going to get you guys going. It's not the fastest out there, but it is the best. So let's get to the yoing. Yo. All right, guys, so we're going to get moving forward with getting this installed in the ComfyUI, which we're going to use. As I said, we're going to talk about One2GP towards the end of this and why you probably don't want to use that. ComfyUI is going to be our go-to. As usual, if you go over to getgoingfast.pro, or you go to iTalk or infinitetalk.getgoingfast.pro, it's going to actually bring you up to this page, and you can actually download our model manager that we put up. This is the absolute fastest way to get going with InfiniteTalk. So it's going to pop up this little thing, and as long as you place this outside of your ComfyUI folder, so your ComfyUI folder is going to look something like this. Let's see here. Okay, so here's your ComfyUI folder. There's all the files. So you put it on the outside of this and then run this. You can go ahead and just click default install. It's going to install all your utility models. It's going to download a quant 6 of a GGUF model for you, and it's going to download your workflow. You can also do these by hand. Click 2. You can grab the FP8 models if you want. I recommend you use the GGUF models because you could just spend forever waiting for these models. It's already kind of a resource-intensive thing. The FP8s and all that can really rack it up a bit. So I suggest you use the other ones, but I mean, here you can play with it if you want. But I recommend you go in here. And I want you to notice that with this workflow, we're going to need two different things. We're going to actually need a WAN I2V model. Okay, so I actually have one.getgoingfast.pro. You can get the full model manager there. But I went ahead and repeated it in here. You can download all the GGUFs that you need for that. So you're going to have that, and then you're going to have the InfiniteTalk GGUF. So you can see there's a whole bunch of them here. We're going to focus on the single. I'm going to tell you guys, the multi-talk function of this app is probably not something that you're going to get much play out of. So you're going to just stick with the single. But the point is, this is the absolute fastest way to get going. You can install your utility models. You're going to have a total of 3 of them, a VAE, a clip, and a LoRA. And then you can download your workflow. So if you are already a member of Get Going Fast, you already have access to this. So that is the fastest way to get going. Okay, now for the rest of us, we are going to go over here, and we're going to download it ourselves. So this is how I have been finding the workflow. I've been doing a Google search for InfiniteTalk GitHub, okay? And it will bring up, oh, not GitHub, InfiniteTalk, sorry, workflow, okay? And you'll notice there's this Reddit one here. Any workflow for InfiniteTalk yet? So let's click on that. And you'll right at the top here, this is Hanky. Hanky, of course, is our one of the co-developers of Kobold CPP. Cool dude. So click here, and this will take us over to this JSON file. Now, if you remember how ComfyUI works, is that it loads what are called JSON files to get all of this. All of this is encapsulated in a data file. That data file has a .json file extension for it. And basically what it is it's a way of formulating data in an ordered manner. So you'll notice this is ordered by tab spaces, okay? And it's able to say, oh, this is the main level, and then these are the sub levels. And if it went down here, that'd be a sub level. So it's just a way of formulating that. And that's how we get our, this is how these things are formulated. So going there, we're going to download this. So we're going to click this download raw file, okay? And notice it's going to pop up. It's going to say .json. So what I would suggest you do is go to wherever your ComfyUI is installed. Okay, I'm having a hard time clicking because I'm on a remote desktop. Go to your ComfyUI folder, then create a folder called Workflows. Okay, and then you can put in here all your different things. Create one called InfiniteTalk, and then save it there. All right, that is the best way to organize your stuff. Now, if you have been using if you're using the Get Going Fast solution, we already have a workflow that with all the settings set properly for you the way that you're going to need it. So you can just use that, and it will also create the workflow folder for you, because that's just the kind of the quality stuff we're used to doing for you. But when we download this one, it's going to download the defaults. And so we're going to have to make some changes. But don't you worry, I'm going to walk you through all of the changes here. Okay? There are a few things. So you're going to notice, like here, you'll go down here where it says MultiTalk model loader. You notice it says like one video / InfiniteTalk / that's his folder structure. Unless your computer is exactly the same as his, it's just not going to work. And so we're going to have to download these into our own things, change them out, put them in the right place. And there are a few things that we're going to have to watch out. There's a few pitfalls that I'll walk you through here. So pay attention to those when we get to it, because there are some things that you'll be like, why is it not working? And I will tell you why it's not working. But before we do that, let's go ahead and I'm going to show you a bit of what we can be making with this, and then we'll get on to our workflows. Okay, we're going to pop on over here to the YouTube channel, which you're already on, and you should see this video here. And this is the first one we did, and this is really incredible. This is a 3.5-minute video. It took about an hour and 3/4, an hour 45 minutes to make, so it's quite a bit, but it's quite good. A couple things I'm going to show you about this. You're going to notice that when there's instrumental at the beginning, that the person in the video kind of does some weird stuff. So, like, essentially, what I end up doing is just cutting out some of the instrumental at the beginning. Also, I want to tell you, this is a perfect sync. This will sync perfectly, but because of the lag online, it might look here for our sake, like it's not in sync. I guarantee you this is 100% in sync. And I also I'll show you a little bit later a few things to watch out for. But let's go ahead and start this to show you what kind of stuff we could be making. Notice the hairs moving. This is all a single image. That's all one, 2.1.
Como un mapa de sueños recién vividos. La luz entra sin permiso, pero se queda callada por respeto a ti.
Okay, so that's obviously amazing. Incredible movement. The hair is flicking. The face moving, the gestures, incredible. There is some shortcomings here. You're going to see when it comes to sustaining notes, it doesn't sustain notes well. Get to that part there. So it's kind of getting that. Now watch, he's going to hit a long note here in a second. So it doesn't sustain notes really great. Okay, still amazing stuff though. I think there's no denying that is awesome. Okay, let's click over this other one, and I'm going to show you this just because this is just incredible, empathetic. Look at the eyes and look how sincere those eyes are, and the eyes squint down with the words. This model's incredible. Notice the hand moving. There's another one here where the hand moves. I want to show you. It just fit. Here it is, and then you're gonna notice he actually rocks the music. That's such a cool scene right there. And then look at he actually kind of goes dances to the music for a moment. Okay, I do want to show you down here. Watch, he's gonna color shift a little bit here for a second. Yes, it starts to go a little bit green. There you go, see the color shift. And it snaps back. Look at the facial expression. So, okay, that all being said, that is a thing in here that when you use still images with what we're going to do, the developers have said that videos over a minute can color shift. There is a solution on their website. Let's go see if we can find that really quick on their GitHub site. If we let's do a search for InfiniteTalk GitHub. They do actually mention this, and there's a solution that I have not tried. Oh, that's the hugging face one. We don't want that. We want this. Okay. Says here. Oh, good Lord. Where does it say it? It says it right up here. Is down this section here. Generates good results from single image for up to 1 minute. Beyond 1 minute, color shifts become more pronounced, which they do. I've done videos where like little sore looking things start popping up on the head. One trick beyond 1 minute is to copy the image to a video by translating or zooming in on the image. Here's just some script to convert image to video. So it's saying that maybe video to video might work better with the image to video. Okay, which we're not going to cover in this tutorial, but essentially what's happening here is, like, let's go back over to our video that we're actually looking at, is it's creating about 10 seconds of this and then restarting. So because it is WAN 2.1, you can have it do certain things, like you say, have it drink a cup of coffee, have the guy drink a cup of coffee, or do whatever. So it starts with a single image, creates it up to that point. but then it starts over. So you'll see him drink a coffee, then the cup will disappear. So it's basically starting over every time when you're doing image to video, resetting it back. And over time, it craps out. So it's fine. One of the things I did with this video that you guys can play is I hit a point where it got kind of weird. And now watch what I do here. I just went ahead and I got to a point and I said, let's go ahead and just do some stuff to distract the user. So you can always do creative stuff like this to cover over little relics or flaws. Notice the spots on his face are starting to become more profound too. But then again, notice it resets. Okay. So it's kind of weird. Amazing. But you can make this work, obviously. Okay. The other thing here that we got going on is the MultiTalk. Now, guys, I hate to say it. Your MultiTalk is just, it's going to be too much for you. I'll give you a look a little bit later on, but you really have to do a lot of work with it. So I tried doing it with this, and you'll see that I'm going to actually keep this muted because I don't want to lose my ability to monetize this video, but notice they're both singing at the same time. And so that's actually a pain. You're going to have to, there's a lot more work to do with separating the audio, putting two different things in there. So it's possible. This video will do it, or this model will do it, but it's a bunch of work. Okay. So, all right. With that said, let's move on to the actual installation of this thing, okay? Okay, so as we had mentioned earlier, we've downloaded the JSON file. Again, if you got it from getgoingfast.pro, you're set. Everything is set to where it needs to be. You'll just download the stuff and you'll change it. Of course, with these things, you just click here and then you can pick from your different models, okay? And so you would find it. But let's go ahead and do this manually. Now, we're going to scroll down to here. Thank God they added a little note thing. These are always important. So look for these because these can help a lot. This doesn't solve all the problems, but it does tell a lot. So now it says you can't mix GGUF MultiTalk with non-GGUF main model, but you can mix different GGUF Q types with each other. So what this is talking about is, notice over here, this says multi-InfiniteTalk model loader. So we've got a model over here that's doing the lip syncing. But what it's doing is it's piggybacking on top of the WAN video model loader. So this right here is our main WAN 2.2. So if you're doing just WAN 2.2 videos, your dog is running and catches a stick and then flies into the air, whatever. You're doing your WAN videos. This is that loader. And so you have to load a model into here, but then you have to load a compatible InfiniteTalk model over to here. So what it's saying is that if you are using GGUF models for one, you have to use it for the other. Okay. Now a GGUF model, of course, is our quant models. And we've talked about this in the past. Essentially, a model comes out and it can have billions of parameters, and maybe your computer can't run it. It's just too big. So what happens is we create these quantized models where essentially we cut off an amount of the data so it fits, right? So say like you got a pot roast, you're cooking it, you got a pan for it to go on, but the pan is too small for the oven. It doesn't, the whole pot roast don't fit in the oven or something like that. So you would have to cut off some of that pot roast to make it fit into the oven. Okay, so it's still a pot roast, it's just missing some stuff. And that is essentially what's happening with these quant models, where it's basically the same thing, it's just less precise. So as you go down, you'll see they've got a Q8 here. As you go down Q6, Q5, Q4, they're cutting off more and more and more. So the key is to find one that will actually work the best for your machine. So you find that balance. Okay, I'm usually not willing to sacrifice large amounts of time for a little bit of quality gain. I'm like, the quality is good enough, now let's make it go faster. But with this model, I'm actually, with the output it puts out, I'm fairly pleased. I don't mind waiting a bit. But So you got your GGUF models, and then you've got your FP8 models. Now, if we click on these ones here, this top one here, we can go ahead, do this first. It's going to take us over to just our normal WAN 2.1 I2V model so that we can get the GGUFs we need for WAN 2.1. And then it's going to take us to our InfiniteTalk. When we get to our FP8 and FP16, it's not providing links for our base models with this. So with those, we're going to have to go out and find them on our own. So, Keyjai, if you're watching this, you could add that to the workflow. All right, anyway, I suppose I could add it to the workflow. Why point at another person when I could do it myself? Okay, fair enough. Maybe I'll add that later, and you can get that at the getgoingfast.pro part, although you won't need it because you got the model manager, but whatever. Okay, so let's go ahead and click on this first one, okay? It's going to pop us up over to here. And again, notice where it takes us to Hugging Face. City 96 does a lot of good stuff. So if you ever see City 96, know that their stuff's quality. And these are all of the WAN 2.1 image to video 480p GGUFs. Now, again, I want to make sure you're understanding this, okay? We're dealing with two different models at this time, okay? We're dealing with the WAN 2.1. That's the normal WAN. That's just, if you're not doing any lip syncing, you're just creating cool videos using the WAN models, okay? That's what we're downloading now when we go over to this site here. Okay, then afterwards, we're going to go get the InfiniteTalk models, and they're going to work together. This is like big boy one here, and the other one is like a little brother, okay? And they're going to work together. So we're going to go here and find one that downloads. So I've been using the Q6. Q5KS is a great place to start, okay? But we'll go ahead and just do the Q6 since I'm already doing that. You're going to click this download button. It's going to pop up. What you got to do is you got to run over to your ComfyUI installation. So you find where that's at. I can hear 18 million times. I keep forgetting where it's at. Okay, you go to your models folder. And with this one, since it's a GGUF model, we're going to put it in a folder that's called UNet. You're going to find this UNet folder, okay? And you're going to save it into there. So safe tensors typically go into your diffusion models folder. GGUFs are going to go into your UNet folder. So we'll go ahead and click save with that. Okay, we're going to get that. Then we can go back over here and we're going to click again. Now we're going to get our InfiniteTalk models. Okay, it brings us up and we've got some options here. You grab your Q6, grab your Q4. Again, I'm going to just say don't worry about the multi ones because they just don't work. Well, they work, but the workflow is so difficult that you're going to spend 8 years working on it. So if you want to tweak out, it's totally possible. Okay, I don't want to tweak out on it, so it's kind of beyond my grasp of stuff. I might play with it, but I want to just make single videos. I'm happy making single videos, so I'm going to grab single Q6, and same thing. I'm just going to go find my ComfyUI folder. Same thing as before, just clicking around like a fool. I'll go to our models and then we will click into UNet and then we will save it. Okay, and then we're almost ready to go. We just have some support files that we need to follow up with. Okay, so we're gonna need to get this VAE. We're gonna need to get this clip. Okay, and we're gonna need to get this LoRA over here. Okay, now the good thing is if you have already downloaded these things, you might already have them. But before we do that, let's go ahead and change this out. Notice this is, again, for this guy's computer thing here. So we'll click on it, and we need to find this WAN2_1. So we'll go through here. I've got so much stuff. Okay, I'm going to click it. Now notice it'll change it. Now it's changed for my computer, okay? Same thing. We'll go over here. We'll find the WAN 2.1 model. And I got to look here to find, I got too much stuff. I'm going to have to do some cleaning. Okay, so there we go. We've got that. All right. So we're going to need to go and get the utility folders or the utility models. Notice this one's called VAE WAN 2.1 underscore VAE BF16. So what we'll do, let's scroll this down here. I'm just going to go up here and I'm going to type it. Now I am going to avoid hitting the underscore button or the enter button because I do not want to change the screen. But notice, type it all out. Then let's copy it, go to a new tab, and let's just paste that in there. And it's going to come up to here to this. You'll see there it is, BF16. So we'll just click there. It says it's this file is stored as Gazette. I don't know what that is. Too big to display, but you can still download it. So we'll click download. Same thing. We go over to our ComfyUI installation. Go to our models folder. And this time, though, we go to the VAE folder. Okay, and we click save. Now, mine's already, I'll go ahead and download it anyways. So it goes ahead and downloads it. Okay, and the good thing here, again, is if you've already, let's get rid of all this nonsense. If you've already downloaded these, or once you download it, they'll work on other projects. Okay. So, again, another one, Clip Vision H. This is actually a very popular model that helps it to see what the images are it's looking at. So if you've used this in any other project, you probably already have this. But same thing, we can type it up here. We can go to a new tab, paste it in there, and there we go. There's a copy of it there. Same thing, we'll download it. And then this one will go over to here. We're going to drill down to our models folder, but this time we're going to go into this folder that's called Clip Vision. Okay, and then we'll click save there. Okay, and then we're ready to go. So the last thing we got to do is we're going to download this Lightrix thing, and this is going to actually make it go fast. So this is a little bit more of a pain in the butt to copy. So what you can do here is, let's go ahead and I'm going to use, you can use the clipping tool and go like this. And I'm just going to actually make a screenshot of this. Okay. Then we can head over to ChatGPT and I'll say, convert this to text. And I'm going to paste that in there. That way I don't have to write this whole thing. And it's going to take it and it's going to give it to us in text. So then we'll just copy that, paste it back into there, and there we go. We found it under KeyJai1 video, and there it is. So we'll download that. This time we go to the models and we go to the LoRa's folder. Now, for some reason I've got one that says LoRa, so we'll just get rid of that. We want LoRa's folder, and then you'll save it there. Okay, guys, we're ready to go now. Okay, so you have to, once these are all done downloading, okay, you've got to hit the refresh button so that they'll show up. Mine showed up because they were already downloaded, but you'll download them, you hit the reload button here. You don't have to restart the whole app, just the reload button, okay? And these will show up, so then you'll click in here, and you'll go find your Lightrix, and you're pretty much ready to go. There's a few other things that we need to look at, but you have all your models now. Okay, this is for the GGUF version of it. So I want you to notice here it says attention mode, and the attention mode is on Sage Attention. So you have to have this installed correctly, Sage Attention installed correctly, or it will not work. We're not going to cover how to make sure it's installed correctly. It's just out of the purview of this video. But if you do go to comfy.getgoingfast.pro, you can get a free manual installation of ComfyUI. Just go grab, probably you just want this 12.6, unless you got a 50 series, you can grab the 12.8. You just grab this 12.6, and it's going to install, and it's going to have your Sage Attention properly installed for you. If you run this and it says you get an error, sometimes you get an error that says that it says something about your GPO, and it's like GPN95 or something like that. It gets some weird message. It means that your Sage Attention isn't properly installed. You essentially, what you have to do when you're installing Sage is it has to match your CUDA and it has to match your Python. So you get your Python. We use Python 3.10 with Get Going Fast. But then you also, if I've got CUDA 12.6 working with my Torch, then I need to make sure that I have the Sage Attention that has CUDA 12.6 as well. So there's a lot of mismatches that can take place, and that's why you get those errors. If you cannot figure out how to get it to work with Sage Attention, guys, just click on it and turn it off. Click this thing that says SDPA, and it will work without it. Now it's going to take longer, okay? But what you do is, if you can't do anything, use SDPA. But you probably want to get your Sage Attention working. And again, you can go to comfy.getgoingfast.pro, and this is free, guys. Just download it, install it, and you're going good. So you need to know that does that. Okay, so we've got this installed. Now we're going to go down here. Notice we've got our load images folder here. So we can go ahead and you can upload whatever image you're going to use here. And this is the one that's going to use. Notice over here it's got some crop stuff. So you can keep the proportion or you can crop it. You can stretch, resize, just keep it as is, all this kind of stuff. So it typically is going to crop it to the head, which is probably the best way to go. Notice it says device CPU. Do not change that. Even though you could use GPU, don't change it. It's not going to do you any good. It's just going to cause you problems. So go ahead and leave that there. We can go over here, to, God. Okay, come on. Okay, there we go. So this is where we can type in our prompt. All you really need is put something like this: a man is talking. Since it is Juan, you could do something like a man does jumping jacks or drinks a cup of coffee. But I'm telling you, the way that this works is it is not going to. Hold on a second. So you'll go in here, and this is where you type in your prompt. A man is talking. As we talked, I don't know if we talked about it. Maybe it was in an earlier live stream. If you put something in there like a man's drinking a cup of coffee or something like that, what will happen is he'll start to drink the coffee, and then it will change. And it just keeps flipping back. The way that this model works is it creates and then it restarts. So you're not going to get fluid motions doing it. The best is just stick to the talking. Man is talking and smiling or something like that. Okay. I did notice we do have another model there that we need to grab. So this is our text encoder. I did not notice that. So let's go ahead, make sure we get this model here as well. We'll type this in here, UMT5.XXL ENC BF16 .safe tensors. Okay. So really quickly, I thought we were done, and I was wrong. So we'll pop that into there. Okay, same thing, just going to bring us up to a KeyGI page. Same thing, we're going to download it. This time we're going to put it, though, in the text encoders folder. Okay, easy peasy. So now we've got all of our models down. Okay, so we've got our thing, a man is talking, a man is singing, or, whatever. Okay. Gosh, I'm not enjoying this thing going all over this. Now, this is where we're going to load our audio. So I've got different audio. Here's, again, a 3-minute and 44-second one I've got in here. Okay, we've got...
I want to tell you about Get Going Fast, the best way to get into working AI and to do it fast.
So we've got those we can load up into there. Notice this is 11 seconds. The other ones are 3.5 minutes. So we're going to talk about that here in a second. Notice down here we've got this audio crop. And it's bypassed. So if we want to use it, we can just right click and go bypass. And it'll actually allow us to start at a certain point. So like say we're back here on this song here, and it has a whole bunch of beginning. So it doesn't start singing until 20 seconds. So I could say start time is 20 seconds. Okay, so you can use this if it's bypassed, which you just unbypass by right clicking on it and clicking the bypass button, and then you can do it again. It will just start at the beginning and do the whole thing. Okay, you don't need to worry about any of these other settings. In fact, don't mess with them. Notice here's some stuff, you can read it if you want, but there's really no thing. Now this is the most confusing thing. Number of frames is the maximum frame count to generate. If the value is higher than your audio length would be, the audio length is used. So what you do is we need to scroll. It's kind of in a weird spot. You got to scroll all the way up to here. and you're going to find this max frame. So it's not a very good location. Okay, but notice this max frame's 1000. What that's going to do is it's going to give you a maximum time of 40 seconds. So if I have an 11-second video, okay, and then and I have this set to 1000 frames, it's still just going to do 11 seconds. But let's say I put in a 1-minute video, it's going to use this max frames of 1000. It's going to create a 40-second video. So if I was doing a 3-minute video, I need to calculate every 1000 is worth about 40 seconds. So a 3-minute video, say 40, 80, 120, 160, 2 minutes. Okay, so 40, 80, 120, 40, 80, 120, 2 minutes. 2 minutes 40. No, what the hell am I doing? Yeah, 40 seconds. 40, a minute and 20 seconds. 2 minutes. 2 minutes 40. So, okay, so 5 of these would be about 3 minutes. Boy, sorry, my math kind of went out the window there. So say we put like 5,000, a value of 5,000 there. So that's going to cover a 3-minute video. Basically, just do it increments of 40 seconds. Every 1,000 is worth 40. But that was kind of embarrassing. I realized I was doing my math all wrong there. I was doing it as if minutes were 100 seconds long instead of 60 seconds long. So you set that up. Then if we go over and do a 3-minute thing, it's going to last. But if you don't set that up, you'll end up with only 40 seconds. Okay. So you don't need to worry about this. If you're a pro, you can go ahead and mess around with it. This is kind of the output I got of another.
I've been trying to reconcile just what these memories mean to me. But I still ain't right from that last fight, the one from whence you ran into the arms of another man.
So notice this one, he's smiling. It doesn't really fit the video. So probably what I would do if I wanted to redo that one, I'd say a man is singing angrily, or something like that. I'd make the face fit a bit more. But anyway, okay, that's all beside the point. You set your max frames, you go in here, everything's ready to go, and then you hit run, and it's going to take a while. Okay, you don't really have to worry about any of this kind of stuff. You've got everything set. You've got your UMT set. You've got your VAE. Oh, same thing with here. Just double checking on here. Notice it's in his folder, so you got to reset. Make sure you grab the right one there so it matches your computer. Okay, and hit it, and then you're ready to go. That's how you use your GGUF models. So now let's take a really quick look at how to do the FP8 stuff. So I'm going to say the vast majority are not going to be using this. You might be using the FP8. You're probably not going to be using the FP16. It just takes so long. And this, speaking with the guy with the 4090. But let's click this, and notice it takes us over here. And it's going to take us to this WAN 2.1 infinite single E4 MF3M and the E5 M2. Basically, the E4F M3FN is going to be best for training. If you're training the models, typically this model will be the best. If you're doing inference, this is typically the most stable. So you pick one of these, okay? Click your download file. You go to your ComfyUI, and then we're going to put these in the diffusion models folder. Okay, so you'll click it there. Save that. That's going to go there. Now, here's the problem over here is they don't give you a link for the WAN 2.1 FP8 model. So we're gonna have to go and find those ourselves. So let's go ahead and so we're gonna have to go like WAN 2.1 FP8 and hopefully find the right one. So we could go here. Now this is the 14B, yeah, so that'd be fine. So then we would, do the same thing here. Now this is Vase. I don't know if Vase is going to work with it or not. You could try. But you might have to search around here. Here's the official WAN 2.1, but yeah, those aren't our good GUFs. Let's try this one. Yeah, see, these are all safe sensors. You're going to this is all not exactly what we need. So the bottom line is you're going to have to look, but I would try this one, try this vase one, but you're going to have to find the model. Easiest way to probably do that is just to go to one.getgoingfast.pro, and you could download the model manager and you can find it there. But of course, if you just go to the actual iTalk at Get Going Fast, it actually has it here for you as well. So I'll have to see where I'm not sure where I got this from, but I do have them here. So you can find them. But the bottom line is you have to find them. You have to go in there, then you have to pick them just like we did before. So like this one, we would go to our WAN 2.1, and this time you can see it says GGUF. We'd be looking for the safe tensors one. So here is WAN 2.1 infinite single. And so we'd add that. That's ready to go. Then we would go over to here, and we would find the same thing. We can kind of skip through. You'll see a lot of GGUFs. We can just kind of skip down to the safe tensors. And here's WAN 2.1, I2V, 14B, 480p. So we click that. Okay, there you go. And so then you're ready to go. Okay, so you've got it matched up. You've already downloaded utility. Same thing's going to work. But I'm going to tell you, it works a little bit slower than the others do. So I would just stick with the GGUF models. Oh, one other thing. If you come here, notice the default says save output is false. Set that to true. Okay, that's a pain in the butt because if you make something and then you have to reload, you will lose your video and you'll be like, oh, I spent an hour and a half. So make sure that that is set to true. Okay, so that is the workflow. Okay, with the videos I made, I did no other changes to it. I just used the default. I did everything as I've shown you here. So you should be able to get similar results on your machine with that. But again, I use the GGUF models, all right, which you can get over at italk.getgoingfast.pro is the easiest way to do that. Okay. I do want to show you something over here on WAN2GP and why that's probably not going to be your best bet. So let's go do that next. All right, so we're going to pop over here to WAN2GP, and you guys know I love WAN2GP. So we're not dogging on WAN2GP, we're just being practical about what can work and what cannot. So they have updated this. If you update it, you can go to your WAN 2.1, and you will find down here InfiniteTalk. Okay, you can have single speaker, multi-speaker. But I'm going to show you the limitations here. I'm going to click multi-speaker because I want to show you something here. There's going to be limitations. So even though it says it's InfiniteTalk, with WAN2GP, you cannot get InfiniteTalk. Okay, and here's why. Over on our Comfy page, okay, we can set this max frames here to all of this. When we go over to our WAN2GP, our number of frames here maxes out at 737. So, and it defaults at 81. So I did a 3-second, took me 11 minutes and it did a 3-second video, and it's like a 3-second lip sync video is no good. I mean, there's literally no purpose for it. I mean, maybe you do a quick thing with it. You could set that up, maybe get like a 10-second thing. It's just not practical. Again, 10-second sort of thing, maybe you could do it, but still it took kind of a long time. You'll need to also download the LoRA, the Lightning X in there, but it's just not practical, okay, in my opinion. Now, that being said, this does give us some insight into the MultiTalk, and this is why MultiTalk, I'm going to explain to you why MultiTalk is so difficult. Why, again, it's just not really worth the time in my thing. So notice this is something he's done really good. He's set it up here. We've got 2 speakers, auto separation of speakers will work only if there's a little background noise. So there is an ability to throw in audio sound and have it differentiate between the two. And then you can go down here and actually, so let's say we click this, it will actually help us to separate the different voices that are taking place. Did not work. I tried that with Pamela Anderson and the Ninja Turtle. Did not work, although you could play with it. And here's also the thing. Over here in the ComfyUI, we don't even have these options. So the workflow we've got in the ComfyUI, we don't even have the options to set that up the way it is. So it's not even, first of all, it's not even there. But second of all, it doesn't even work here. And if you're doing multiple talk, you can only get a 3-second video out of this. So it's like, even if MultiTalk did work on this, it's so, the frame is so small that you can't, the length is so small you can't do anything with it. Okay, here's the other thing. Audio sources are assumed to be played in a row. So if you did this, you got to upload one audio to say, hey, my name's Chet. Hi, and my name is Barbara. And it does each one, then the other. So you could do it that way. But again, that's a lot of work. You got to set up 2 different videos, and then speaker audio sources are assumed to be played in parallel. So again, they're playing at the same time, but like they're talking over each other. In theory, this is awesome. In practice, it doesn't work out. Okay. Again, does show the shortcoming of the ComfyUI workflow in that it doesn't even have the ability to do that. You would have to add all that in. But again, going back to our 1.2 GP, what good does it do? I could spend like forever to maybe run a 10-second video, but a 3-second video, 10-second video really doesn't do much for me in the grander scheme of things. So I am going to go ahead and put multi-speaker talking still in the realm of to come. We're still pipe dreaming. It's possible. It's still highly in the... I always say that with this stuff, you have... it's computer science before it's magic, right? A TV is magic. It used to be computers, so you have to know. Back in the day when I was a kid, you had to know you put the wires here and we do this. And nowadays, all you got to do is plug it in and it's magic. It just works. And so all this stuff's kind of like that. It's all computer science. AI is still computer science. You have to know what you're doing, but there's levels. Multi-person stuff is still very technical. It's still very experimental. It's not easy to do. So as far as I'm concerned, it's out of the picture because I don't want to spend the time. I don't have a reason. If I had a reason, sure. I don't have a reason to do it. So, but with what we can do already, it's amazing. And this is the best software when it comes to lip syncing. So this video here is the best.
I've been trying to reconcile just what these memories mean.
And it maintains the image, which is a great thing. When you're looking at this stuff, a lot of times these models, it'll be like it change, but the face changes so much. But this is the power of Wand is that it's actually maintaining the likeness. I mean, that's me. Obviously, that's not me singing, but that's me. That looks like the original image. So there you have it, guys. InfiniteTalk is for real. Okay, it is the best. If you're going to ask me what's the best, InfiniteTalk is the best. Okay, I really liked Sonic. InfiniteTalk is better. Okay, you are going to have some issues with the image to video thing because it does color shift, but you can probably fix that with some aggressive prompting, or as the GitHub repository mentioned, turn your image into a video and then use that, and that will solve the problem. So basically you have a still image and you just make that still image last, say, for 3 minutes, okay? And then it'll use that. You'll have to do some work on the workflow to add the video input instead of the image input, but that will be coming. People will be working on workflows for this. I will be updating the italk.getgoingfast.pro site. So if you're doing this, you'll be able to get better workflows as time goes by. Otherwise, just keep your eye on what's going on with that. And with that, I guess we've covered it, guys. Go out there and make some cool stuff because it really is an awesome software, the best we have so far. So there you go. Guys, enjoy it, and we will catch up with you on the other side. Yo.